Well, hi there. Are you ready for some lunch for the soul? I hope so. I'm Melissa Wilson from Fox 26, and I'm home today because it happens to be the first day of school, and I have been a mom all day. So, taking off that hat right now to introduce you to the amazing Marcus Sullivan, who is right there. Marcus, how are you?
Melissa, long time no see. How are you? I'm great.
Oh, so good now that you're here. Thank you for joining us on Lunch for the Soul. You are ready to rock your faith and share your testimony with us, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Well, I want to introduce you from NGEN. So KSBJ's really cool station is probably a good way to say it, with Christian hip hop, pop, and all kinds of fun music to get people who love them some Jesus a way to just rock out, right?
Absolutely. I say it's for the now generation, and the now
Mhm.
generation is anybody from the ages of 150 down to age 1. That's the now generation.
Oh, I love, hey, that's right. And I was saying it's for the young folks. Hello,
Young
150
at
is
heart.
just
Young at heart.
fine.
Young at heart.
Young at heart is all that matters. Well, I want to bring in this awesome picture. I just posted it and I'm so
Mm,
fired up to see you here.
yeah.
You are with this handsome young man. Introduce us.
That's my now 11-year-old son, Ethan. He's about to start school again next week, and he's going to middle school. And time goes by so fast. But man, he is one of my two kids. I have one who has autism, who's now 7, and he's 11, and he has diabetes. But those two are the joy of my life. Those two, they inspire me to be the man of God that I strive to be each and every day, and then just try to be a good representation of fatherhood in the world that we live in now.
Mhm. I love that. But you have to deal with some pretty serious stuff. So let's talk about and go way back to when
Yeah.
he was a lot younger. What happened, and tell us about his diagnosis.
Being in the state of Texas, man, a lot of us, especially parents, we get our kids into a lot of extracurricular activities. And he was playing softball and then baseball in the Pearland League at the age of 4, turning 5. And then his body just started changing. And we, took him to the doctor to get different tests and everything. And then we found out that he has type 1 diabetes, which doesn't run on anybody's side of our family. So it was brand new to both sides of our family, and he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 5. So he stopped playing baseball because we wanted to go through all 4 seasons of learning about diabetes in the summer, winter, and fall, and learning what it does to the body, and learning about injections and the diet and counting carbs and all of those things. But through grace of God, that was the first time in my life that I realized, and if parents or anybody that has anybody under them that they kind of watch over, would definitely understand. This was the first time in my life that I realized it wasn't the career or the job or the technology or the insurance or the benefits that could help. It was only our relationship with God that tied it into us being able to deal with it on a daily basis.
And I just want to talk about how important it is for us to realize that. How is that deeply seated in you? How did you get that just super positive attitude? Did it come from your family? Is it just in an innate sense inside of you?
Well, I mean, for some people that might be watching this, I actually used to work with you at Fox, and I had aspirations
Mhm.
of being the next Melissa. You know what I mean? And but God was like, Marcus, I have another plan for you. You know, you're a positive person.
Mhm.
You have somewhat of an influence, and you have a big faith about yourself. And there was nobody in the lane of pointing the now generation, to the cross and
Mhm.
providing hope and inspiration in life. So I kind of just, being an introvert, kind of just morphed into the purpose God had for me. And now each and every day I get a chance to lead. And me being an introvert, it still trips me out that I get a chance to lead in that aspect of doing it. And I try to parent that way also.
You are so full of life and your personality is so
Thanks.
big. I was shocked when you called yourself an introverted that do you still feel like that, or do you feel like that was, I just don't see that. I see you as this fuller than life. You
Yeah.
adore people and embrace the world.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, and people that know me from like Facebook and high school, they'll go, wait, you work in the media, right? Because I grew up an introvert, but that is exactly how I know I'm called to my purpose.
Yeah.
Because it's not me. The real me wants to seclude itself and be to myself. And I actually do that. You know, I might spend Sundays after church chilling and watching football, and I'm fine with it. But then I get into my purpose, and my purpose is God has called me to lead a certain type of person. I don't preach, right? But I have a specific lane that God has called me into doing, and that's leading. And I'm so grateful for NGEN and KSBJ giving me the opportunity each and every day to be as creative and as point so many people, as many as I can, to the cross in a hip hop positive way.
And it does, it works, whatever it takes, right? I
Yeah.
mean, music is powerful. And I know I see through my own kids who listen to different types of Christian rap, and I'm trying to understand the lyrics so much. But I think it's awesome. I think that I'm thrilled they're listening to that versus
Yeah.
some of the alternate choices out there. I want to go back to when you were talking about how you just never know where life's going to lead you. I know an interesting fact about you. So we see this picture here. It just looks like a dad hanging out with his son. But
Yeah.
how intriguing that in college you were all about football, but then chess became a big part of your life. Tell us about that.
So embarrassing, but I love this story. When we do icebreakers and people say, "Hey, tell me one interesting fact about you," I always bring up the fact that I am. This is me boasting a little bit. I am really good at the game of chess, and how that actually happened is I remember trying to. This is so embarrassing. Impress a girl, and I picked up the game of chess trying to be smarter, thinking, that makes me smarter than the next person.
Right.
And I literally fell in love with the game. So in high school, being an athlete, everything was like, you're going to school to play sports and all of that. And I had this thing in chess in the back of my head, and I joined the chess club. I did that, ended up going to the University of Houston, playing sports there, but still morphed into that whole chess lane. And man, I've met so many people learning the game of chess, and I absolutely love the game. One thing that was really interesting is my son, the one I was just telling you about, he came home from school one day and he was like, "Dad, my school is starting a chess club." And I was like, wow, get into it. And he actually took a liking to that more than the sports stuff. So I was just like, wow, thank goodness for that. So yeah.
That is awesome. And it's hard to find people who are good at chess. My youngest taught himself to play, read every book, did online classes during the pandemic because there wasn't anything else to do.
Right.
But I tell you what, finding another kid who can play, we're going to have to get our boys together. Okay?
Absolutely.
That would be so awesome. Okay, so now we have pictures of both of those guys right here, huh?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's great.
That's Emerson on your left and Ethan on the right. Ethan is such a great big brother. And Emerson, who has been diagnosed with autism, if you go to my social media, you'll see that he loves music, loves rock and roll. He has the extroverted personality of me, and Ethan has the introverted personality of me.
Oh, I love it. So you get best of both worlds right there. Hey, someone turned 10 right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cute. I love that. Well, it's such a crazy time this time of year, getting back into new routines with school and all of that. How do you keep a positive attitude with just the changes of daily life and living when it's just, not easy every day?
For me personally, and this goes to the devotions that I've been on lately, is, man, honestly, and anybody watching this, I'm encouraging you to take these steps also. Man, waiting on God, right? I know it sounds so cliche. It sounds so, trust, wait on God, right? But I'm actually in a season, and as school is going back, I'm literally learning the lesson of, yes, we can have our vision boards, we can have our structure and our order of everything that we want to do it. We know faith without works, that whole nine. But at the same time, I'm learning to leave space, leave room for God to just be God, right? And so that alone allows me to go, okay, Marcus, you can do everything you can in your power, right? You can do everything you can in your power, but leave space for God to completely blow our minds, because that's why we call him God, right? Yeah.
Here's a note from Chris Bede, who's just talking, giving right here, Genesis 2:4. This is the history of the generations of the heavens and the earth when they are created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. It's just neat to see when people are believers and are open to share that. And thank you
Right.
for that. Chris Bede, like that name there.
I like that name. I like that name. Also, I like the fact that you get a platform that we can actually talk faith and talk positive
Mhm.
vibes, because if we're being honest, there are not a lot of avenues for it, right?
Mhm.
And then if we're honest, right outside of our four walls, I literally say it on the radio every day. It's literally the wild, wild west going on, right? But we have the
Mhm.
comfort in knowing that God is still in control, and you got people to check in and give scripture. Like that's an amazing thing
Yeah.
that we can encourage each other through social media.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And life is rough. We all go through these horrible lows in life and these beautiful highs,
Yeah.
but faith is what gets me through that. If I didn't have it, as you know, I've had a chronically ill child, and we've had to deal with years of chemotherapy and not knowing if it would come back. And I mean, we've just had so many tough times, but I always have a smile on my face and it's not fake because I know that the God that I believe in is taking care of us, right? So I want to share that joy with other people who feel hopeless through people like you so
Yes.
that they can, if they don't have that, maybe they'll find it. Maybe it'll change their lives. People ask me on a daily basis when I'm going through a dark time, how can you be happy? Faith
Right.
and my love of God, it changes everything. I want to talk about some tough things you've been through because type 1 diabetes is tough. It's tricky getting insulin just right. Your little boy has to go through, well, I call him little boy, I'm going to do that till he's 20. Okay. Even though he's
Exactly.
not now, but going through multiple injections a day, how does your family deal with that? I know he's one tough cookie.
Right. Man, I gotta give shout outs to my mother-in-law, because her wisdom just stepped in, and like she kind of educated herself even more than we did, right?
Mhm.
I would say I'm the wimp still in the category of how he deals with it, because for me it's like, man, I want the reputation in his eyes that dad is Superman and dad can do anything. But he has his highs and lows, and just like it says, man, he gets 4 injections, right, a day. I know some of us don't even like getting 1 injection a year, right? He gets 4 a day, and through time he's gotten used to it. But I remember like some of my low times is when he was 5 years old, and he would almost be afraid to like eat or whatever, because he knows right after we eat we have to do the injection for the insulin and everything. But again, at that time, and I'm saying it now, like you still have to be able to count your blessings, because just the blessings of insulin, or the technology of insulin, or the finances to be able to even afford it, so that he can live a normal
Mhm.
life. That
Mhm.
right there is some of the things that I go, wow, thank you, God, because I could be in a situation where he needs the insulin and we don't have it,
Mhm.
right? And so
Mhm.
I encourage people, when they have low times, man, is start counting our blessings, right? And I say it all the time: when we count our blessings, it is very hard to count a blessing and still be in a bad mood, in a bad place, because every breath is literally a birthday, because it's not
Mhm.
guaranteed.
Mhm. So beautifully stated. Oh my goodness, I want to write down everything you say. So I'm a person who believes in positive affirmations, and so
Mhm.
I have them everywhere. If I love something, I write it down. I'll stick it. I'm still a sticky note person. I'll stick it on my computer, or I'll put it on my vanity in my mirror, wherever,
Yeah.
just so I see it. I think it's so important to remind ourselves of things like that. Well, I want to encourage all of you out there listening. If you are watching us right now, if you have questions for Marcus, ask up. If it's
Yeah.
anything about perhaps diabetes or his faith or perhaps NGEN, let's talk more about your radio station. So, how do we find you? I'll go old school on you on the dial. People are
Well,
going, what? What's
it
that?
is it is it is
What are you
interesting
talking
that
about?
you said that. Engine used to be on the 91.7 dial, but now that we're the now generation, through research and everything, and you can even ask your kids, and if you watch it, ask your kids. A lot of kids, including mine, or a lot of people, are more on social. It's going to be people that's watching this and resharing this. that no longer really watch TV or listen to radio. So through research, we kind of morphed into being digitally online so we can actually reach the world, put our resources into reaching the world. So we're on the NGEN Radio app, right? And NGEN is actually spelled NGEN, like for now generation.
I'm going to put it back up. There we go.
There you go.
have
NGEN
it.
is spelled NGEN because a lot of people try to spell it like the car, which
Uh-huh.
saying we're in motion, but it's short for the now generation, NGEN Radio. And I'm blessed to be able to do a worldwide or a national morning show. And the morning show is called Marcus in the Morning, which is a blessing and a half because I never saw that coming in my life. And the fact that I can actually stop on the radio and join as many people at one time, and we're all praying for 45 seconds to, in between songs, and I get no flack about it, right? So one of my positive affirmations is much prayer, much power. Little prayer, little power. No prayer, no power, right? And so we're on NGEN. I'm on Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. till 10. And I'm up, and I'm always interacting digitally. I'm on about 4 or 5 social media platforms. And I think my whole purpose is actually to bring hope or inspiration to other people. And the good thing about it is when I have my lows, there are people that check in with me. Marcus, how are you? And that lets me know that we're under one kingdom and we're family. It matters not color or anything like that. So
that's a long drive, so to speak, to talk there for 4 hours. So how do you keep up your energy and make sure that you're feeling positive to give out all those good juju and vibes? Are we drinking lots of extra coffee? How are we pulling this off?
You know what's funny is, and even back in my days when I worked in the digital department at Fox, I've never been a coffee person, right? I am a water and fruit person in the mornings, but I've learned, and this is through my study, if I'm like, God, give me the ability, give me the shoulders to be able to carry this assignment, right? So I changed my eating habits. I sleep. I try to go to sleep early. I work out often. I do a devotion, and sometimes I put it on my social media. I make sure a workout picture, and I'm showing muscles, and then somebody will go, what's your diet or something? And I go, oh, I just read the Bible 3 times a day. But those things actually have helped me, and it keeps me focused. It keeps me from distractions of just having the routine of, man, you have an assignment that you have to do. So yeah, you need to drink your water and sleep well and pray and ask for advice,
You are so healthy. You are the only person I've ever known who says, I just drink water and fruit. I'm just naturally. How come you didn't rub some of that juju off on me when you were at Fox? We're all like slamming our coffee. Oh yeah, we're
Pineapples, strawberries, and grapes are the go-to in the morning. Those things.
I'm telling you, you're the only person I know says that. I think it's so awesome. Well, any last thoughts that you want to share with us, just as everybody is midweek now and we're making our way toward the weekend?
I mean, I'll go back to exactly what I said in the very beginning, and it's part of my devotion, and I hope whoever's hearing this is able to repost and share and quote it or whatnot. We all have ups, we all have downs. I always say things like we all have our go-throughs, right? That is part of life. But in the middle of us trying to get it together and write it out and plan for things, the thing I do want to leave, and I've been hearing in my devotion, is allow some space. Allow a little bit of space for God to blow our minds, right? We have our order, we got our vision board, we have our to-do list, but allow some space for God to say, allow me to be God, because he may have a different plan. And again, the whole process of waiting on God is so powerful for me, because now in the lesson as I'm speaking is I'm learning to do everything that I can and then just wait.
I love that. And I'm going to remember that. It's hard to build in that little time if you don't actually make, I guess, I don't want to say a chore, but put it on your calendar, right? Make sure you do it, because if you don't, you blink your eyes and the day's over.
Absolutely.
And I always try to pray throughout the day, because I do get up early. I find myself falling asleep during my prayers at night if I wait for pillow talk.
Yeah.
And so to do that and just to put it on the calendar and say, I'm going to be still for a minute. I
Right.
think that's beautiful advice. Thank you for
For and
sharing.
this will be real quick for my
Yeah,
people
of course.
who want to get better with prayer, because I was actually a person that was 2 years ago. I was a person that was afraid to pray out loud, right?
Mhm.
And I get to do it now nationwide, right? And so I tell people, if you want to get better at prayer, especially if you have a car, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time that you start the car or stop the car, say a prayer, maybe 5 seconds, eight
Ah.
seconds. And so when you do that, you'll see yourself ended up praying 8, 9, 10 times a day. I start the car,
Mhm.
I stop the car. I start the car, I stop the car. You'll get your prayer game will be up.
I love that. Oh, I have a new habit to start. Okay, quickly, I'll leave you with Sarah saying God will supply every need. And then we have Sharon saying we need God. And Sharon, we couldn't agree more with you. So we are glad that we are on the same page, my friend. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for being here, Marcus. Such a blessing to catch up with you again. Congrats on Marcus in the morning. So here's my request for everybody. So you're going to turn on Fox 26 Morning News from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., but you're also going to have some little side music going on with Marcus. Is that
Absolutely.
a good plan
Yes.
or is that a plan? We got some
That
cross marketing going on here.
that's such a plan. And I'll wait till you guys go to commercial before I turn all the way up. There you go.
There you go. All right. Well, dear, take care of yourself and your beautiful family. And thank you for sharing our journey with us. You're an incredible human being and a wonderful friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Fox 26. Thank you, NGEN Radio.
Bless you. Take care of you. And I just want to remind you, if you want to meet us next week, what a dramatic story I have to share with you. A young man was from Texas A&M on a skiing trip in Colorado when the unthinkable happens. He's snowboarding. He's a really seasoned snowboarder. He hits a tree. 8 months later, he finally walked out of Tier Memorial Hermann. Doctors say his story is an absolute miracle. There were many times, many days, it was iffy if he would survive, but he is going back to college this week, back to A&M. You're not going to believe his story. So hear from him yourself and his family. I hope you'll join me next week, same time, 12:30. And then if you joined us late today and you want to see all of this, you can go back. Just find Fox 26 Houston on YouTube. You can watch this Lunch for the Soul in its entirety, as well as all the others we've done from previous months. Bless you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for just being an open mind about faith and what a difference it can make in life. You know, I always love having you here. If you have any ideas, if you want to be on Lunch for the Soul, reach out to me, melissa.wilson@fox.com. Take care of you.